Welcome to episode 69 of Canes Local. Today we'll take a look at the Eastern Conference Final, what the heck is wrong with the Canes, and much more coming up next. All right, so let's check on let's start with the first question. What the hell is wrong with the Hurricanes at this point? Because they've they've not at all looked like, or the bigger question is is there something wrong with them, or is this Florida that much better?
Yeah, I think it's more Florida's just that much better. I don't know if I don't know if there's really the Canes have a ceiling for sure with the group that they have, but I just think Florida's just too good. And they look even better. They won the cup last year and they look even better than that team that won the cup last
Yeah,
year,
they
which is
just seem to
crazy.
get better and better and better. It's almost
Yeah.
like you see like those animated characters. They start morphing when they start getting into different environments, and I think that's the way Florida reminds me of because in the regular season they did not look like this. They take on
No.
a whole different persona when it comes into the playoffs, and and they're all over. They're how we play the game times two, at least two, if not three. And they're big back. The defensemen are huge, and they play
Yeah.
such a good style of game, such a physical game, and that's the biggest thing. Is
Yeah.
I think they just overwhelm you with that speed and power.
Yeah, I don't think they don't really give you a chance to do much of anything. And I don't think the Canes played horrible in game 1, and I think that's game 1 is the better indicator of why Florida's just that much better because I think the Canes played pretty well. They just, you know, score
Yeah,
was still 5-2.
yeah, I
It's
know.
like, when
Yeah,
you're a team like even playing just as even like youth players, when you go in and you're like, man, we played a really good game, yet you still lose, 6-2, 7-1,
yeah,
like, it's like you don't even want to try the next game. It's like
yeah.
demoralizing. So, I'm kind of thinking that's probably what happened in game 2. But yeah, I mean, who knows? It could completely flip on its head. Obviously, it's
You
not
know, I,
it's not
I
over
I hope
yet,
so.
but
I hope so.
I
I
don't
hope
know.
so. But at the same time, it's hard to place a bet against the way Florida's playing right now that we could win 4 to the next 5. I mean, that's a really tough bet for me to take at the moment. Again, I want them to prove me wrong. So please do because I love this group. I love the way it plays together. I love the way they are. But I just think maybe you see it different than I do. But I think they've been trying to be too over physical. They've been trying to do too much. It's almost like last night they were body on puck, two guys on the puck, two guys on body, and then just skating literally right by the puck and turnovers and it was a hot potato puck. The best way I can put it, it was a hot potato puck. I mean, Andrei Svechnikov turned the puck over early on in the game, and I mean, obviously creates the first goal. But you know, we got to be play with a little bit more pace because Florida's coming at you. They're coming at you,
Yeah.
and it's relentless. It's not, and it's not going to stop, and it's going to be
No.
even worse when we get home.
Yeah, you got to find a way to get 2 wins on the road. I don't know how they're going to do it, but like I
Mm-mm,
said, they haven't even really looked like they've had a chance. It's not like the games
mm-mm.
have been really close. It's score-wise. Yeah, it's tough.
I think last night's game was more away from where we didn't have much of a chance. We weren't necessarily in the game, quite honestly.
ever. Yeah, it wasn't. No.
I think the first game I would say that we were. The score wasn't necessarily indicative of how we played. Bob played well, but he had 31 shots, and but in game two, how we only have 17 shots on goal.
Yeah.
So we can't. I mean, that's just not who we are. So hopefully, Rod's got a script in his book that's going to flip the switch here and make this. the all-time comeback, I guess I'll go back to 2006. We did lose the first 2 games against Montreal, and we had to come out. We had to win 4 straight or win 4 of the next 5 against Montreal, and you know what happened in 2006. So, I'm not giving up complete hope, but man, that Montreal team of '06 is not the Florida Panthers of 2025.
No.
So they're a completely different animal.
Yeah, and it's, I don't unfortunately I don't think Rod has any answers other than it's, basically just get back to trying to cycle the puck in the offensive zone and hope we get some bounces. That's really what it's going to end up coming down to,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah, no, and now that's the way it was last night. I mean, you saw glimpses of it in the second period, where first period was atrocious. It was awful. I mean, no matter how you look at it, it was I mean, everybody was all over the place. This is where we went back to this early on in the season. I know we all definitely don't necessarily like it, but when you have man on man coverage in the D zone, last night is what happens because everybody was all over the flipping place. It was not even, it would look like a Chinese fire drill. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Nobody knew, and they were breaking coverage in Florida. I mean, good on Paul Maurice. I mean, I tell you what, everybody's giving him shit about when he was here in Carolina. He couldn't, this, that, and the other. But I would tell that guy can coach, and
Yeah.
he's got good players, and he's got good. He's a good coach. And you just saw it more in the second game than you did the first game. That that man on man coverage in the D zone just didn't work.
I mean,
It didn't work.
it doesn't work against really good teams that, you
Yeah.
know, if you work hard against it, you can play. It's not too hard. And then what it does too is it cuts down on the shot blocking
Hmm.
because when you're playing man on man, you're not thinking about blocking a shot because everybody's covering somebody. Whereas if you're playing a zone or a hybrid zone, you
Yeah.
still have guys in front willing to just eat pucks. And I think
Yeah.
that's part of what they're missing is just too many pucks are getting through. They're getting through screens. I mean,
Hmm.
just guys are standing in the way of Freddy, and it's tough.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I don't know if there really are any answers. I just don't. Unfortunately, don't think this Canes team has it. I just don't think they do.
No.
Unfortunately,
No.
but again, they're overachieving now.
They
I
are
know.
for sure, and I think we said it last week that they are overachieving based on what the three of us had thought going into the season. So what about Freddie? I mean, how I think he's looked good, but not great. I think he's made saves. He's not made the saves that he was making in the previous series, and I don't know if that's a factor of what's playing in front of him, um, but I really in game 3 he's going to have to make that save if they're going to have a push. Florida's going to push in the first. He's going to have to make a save, in my opinion, that's going to allow the guys to settle because he's not been making that save that he needs early in the game to get them. Because Carolina plays terrible from behind.
Yeah, in the playoffs, they've played bad from behind. Yeah,
They can't play from behind, and so Freddie's got to be able to make that save. And so what? How? I mean, how's he been in your mind? I mean, has he been? I mean, I think okay, but not great
he's been all right.
in
I
this
mean,
series.
yeah, and obviously in the two prior series he was great, but he's been okay. I mean, yeah, it's tough for him because the team in front of him's not playing great either. So I I don't put a lot of blame on him, but I would if it's me, I'm starting Kochetkov game 3. I'm not
Yeah.
starting Freddy. I'm just giving because if you really want Kochetkov to take over at some point the net,
Uh-huh.
you know, why not give him a chance? Like, who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe he
Yeah.
becomes a different person, becomes a different goalie. Maybe he stands on
Yeah.
his head. You kind of know what you're going to get from Fred at this point.
Maybe it
So,
ramps everybody up in front of him too. I mean,
yeah, who
because
knows? They need to. I mean, they need to stop with the. The problem is it's so hard to change a system in the middle of a series. Like, I mean, you could do it. Obviously, they're pros; they could do it. But
Mhm.
even stopping the man-on-man stuff like that, it's killing the Canes right now.
No,
Because again,
no,
you
it
see it
is.
against high quality teams. I mean, like that Tampa team a couple years ago when the Canes lost in the second round. I mean, Tampa was just literally
Mhm.
just giving it to Kucherov and letting him walk around the zone until somebody
Yep,
was open or he got a shot through and until somebody
yep,
beat their coverage and then he was
yep.
going, you know?
Yeah, I know
So,
you watch the game, even the game last night is, Florida does such a good job of working north and south. They
mhm.
get the puck north as quickly as I've seen a lot of teams do here recently, and it's in and out. And what they're doing is they're coming up the middle of the ice, and Carolina does a nice job of closing off the wall. But man, Florida's coming right up the middle. I mean, they're coming right up
I
the
mean,
gut as soon as
that's
they
the
go.
playbook though. That's
That
how you beat
is
it.
so you have to cut that off and figure out a game plan shift that is going to cut the middle of the ice off because right now, I mean, that middle of the ice is owned by the Florida Panthers. And
Yeah.
I mean, we have no zone pressure. I mean, you look at the ozone pressure, ozone time in the floor in the Washington series. I mean, we were 60, 70% in the ozone. I mean, right now, I don't know the exact stat, but we are way less than 50%
Yeah.
because Florida's bing, bing, bing. They're up the ice and they're going. And that's something that Rod's got to fix.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't know if it's necessarily anything that he is going to be able to fix. I just think that's a product of his system. Like if guys know how to play up the middle, they're going to beat it because you
Hmm.
play so heavy on the wall. So, and if you're turning pucks over, you're going to get killed by this Florida
Yep.
team. I mean, they're going to
Yep.
make you pay
Oh yeah.
all the
No,
time. They're going to
we turned
constantly
them
make you
over.
pay.
I mean, the
Yeah.
first goal. Look at the first goal last night. I mean, Svechnikov, little chip up the wall. I mean, we play a soft game, and we can't play. Florida is super aggressive. They are on the puck all the time. Their D are always in the zone. They're going to pinch about every shift. Both defensemen. I mean, it
Hmm.
doesn't matter. They're gonna force you to into making mistakes, and we just have to our guys have to skate because you saw it in the second period. I'm not going to say that we looked like shit the whole game. There were shifts in the second period where Stankoven looked good, Stahl looked good, Ross looked good. I mean, everybody looked good in the ozone, but man, I tell you, you cannot play that one shift a game because it doesn't work against Florida. They're too composed, they're too physical, they're too
Hmm.
big, they're too fast. I mean, they're just they're a championship pedigree for a reason, and they're built like a playoff team, and we're not quite there yet. But I think if we played with our speed, we could get there. Honestly, I said earlier today that I think the series is mm, it's going to be a tough road to hoe to get 4 wins out of 5. But at the same time, if the Canes played with some speed and didn't worry about the physical side of the game, I think we stopped doing that because we were skating by pucks last night. It was insane. I was like, "What the flip are you doing? Why are you skating by a puck to make a hit? You're going to send a message. Okay,
Yeah.
well they're going the other way when you're in transition. So, what message are you sending? Said, okay, no problem. You can hit me all day long. But we're going the other way. So, we just have to play our speed game. It's plain and simple. Because it worked in the second when we started cycling. We were skating and the majority of the rest of the game, we didn't skate at all.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, again, I don't really have much else as far as just kind of insight on it. I mean, they just have to play. You have to find another level. I don't know if they have that in them. In my view, the only way that Carolina gets back in the series is if Florida lets them. If Florida lets their
Yeah.
foot off the gas for whatever reason,
Yeah.
the Canes got a chance. But if
Yeah.
Florida plays the way that they did last night for the next two games, they're getting
That
swept again.
that was about as good a game as I've seen a team play in
I
a
mean,
long time.
I've never seen
Yeah.
that much. I mean, even out of a Canes team in the past, I've never seen
Yeah.
a game where it's just that much pressure and suffocation where
Yeah.
the other team had
It
absolutely
was nothing.
nothing
They
ever.
they they came in layers. It was unbelievable. I was literally watching the game, and your mom asked me to, what are they doing? What's wrong? I said, what's wrong with the Canes is Florida. I mean,
Yeah.
they had layers of attack. They didn't come at you one at a time. They came at you at three at a time. They came at you in waves. And whenever you made a play, there was always a guy to back it up to where
Mhm.
if even if you got by the first guy, the second guy was there, the third guy was there, the fourth guy was there. It's like they never gave you an opportunity to make a play. And so the Canes just have to figure that out. If they can, great. Not sure they can, but hey, I'm the optimist here, but I just hope. But 4-5 against Florida, the way they're playing right now, um, man, that's gonna be a tough road to hoe for the Hurricanes. But hey, I'm gonna stay the course and stay with the Canes here. But at the same time, man, it's a tough look for them right now. So we'll see.
Yeah. No, and they and I mean, I guess it just goes to show too that, I don't know of any team currently with the way Florida played. I
Yeah,
mean, last night for sure, but even the first game as well. Like who actually beats them?
I
Like in
don't
a 7 game.
I don't think anybody beats them.
Edmonton's
No,
Edmonton's going to get absolutely clobbered
nope,
cuz they don't have goaltending.
yep,
And Dallas is a rush team.
they are,
They're off the rush
yep,
and a power play team. So if they can't play off the rush, which Florida doesn't allow you because they press too hard
yep,
for you to even get a clean breakout. I mean, I don't again, unless Florida lets you play the game. If they dictate the game, they play it on their terms. If they want you to play the game, they'll kind of sit back a little bit and let you come to them.
yeah,
But if they're going at you like they did
yeah.
last night with the Canes, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know who beats them. I really don't.
I really don't either. I think they're really in a place right now where they're coming together at the right time. It's
They
really
are.
like I said, the thing that I go back to is it's really amazing to me is I've watched them play during the season, and this is not the same team.
It's not
They
even
take their
close.
game they take their game to another level. I mean, it's amazing what they've done. That I don't want to. I'm not gonna. I hate to tout on them, but man, they are built for the playoffs. They're a championship winning team, and they're built that way. And you just sit back in amazement that okay, what do the Canes need to do to get to that level? And I think we said all along they're overachieving this year. So adding what pieces maybe at the end of the year gets them to that level of pedigree. I mean, I'd love to get a guy like Sam Bennett. I'd love to get a guy, like a Carter Verhaeghe. I mean, Carter Verhaeghe is like a rat on a puck. I mean, he is unbelievable. He's always in the right place. He's a goal scorer, and it seems like he takes his game to a different level in the playoffs.
Yeah. No, and it's just, I mean, you go down the list of any player on that team. I mean, they just work so well together. I think the core that they have just understands what they need to do,
Yeah,
and it's almost they just don't let themselves lose games. They really don't.
yeah,
They're always willing
yeah,
to drag themselves back into a game, even if they're down. I
yeah,
mean, obviously they were down 2-0 to Toronto, and they were losing game three
yeah.
like 3 or 4-1, and they ended up coming back and winning in overtime. So it just takes one, and I mean that goes to show for the Canes too. It just takes one game.
It
If they
does.
can
Yeah,
crack a win in game three, be 2-1 in the series, who knows? Maybe that puts some doubt in. I doubt
yeah,
it, but maybe it puts some, a little bit of doubt
yeah,
in Florida's mind too. That
yeah.
hey, okay, these guys can kind of play with us. So I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting series. I would be shocked if well, I say that, but I would really be shocked if the next game at least is another, 5 or 6-0 or 5-2 or, you know, something's got to give. I don't know what it
Yeah.
is. I mean, there's guys that have, bumps and bruises. I mean, I think, Walker left. He didn't play very much last night. Jarvis
Yeah,
left
and
and came
Jarvis
back,
left
but
too. I mean,
yeah.
those guys got run over. I mean, Mikkola absolutely ran over Jarvis in the neutral zone. So,
Hmm.
I mean, that's the other thing you got to worry about too is we're small. We're not a huge team. So,
No.
I think when I go back to my question from earlier is that we have to get a little bit bigger. I mean, we brought Jankowski back into the lineup and we brought Carrier into the lineup, but even those guys like Carrier and Martinook, they obviously look like they're dinged up because they haven't played with the same jam over the last 2 games that they did against Washington.
Yeah.
So something's going on with those 2 as well. But I think from the standpoint of just physical jam and creating that chaos and creating that ozone pressure, we don't seem to have it right now. And maybe it's a symptom of who we're playing
And the D aren't
against.
pinching as much either.
Yeah.
They're backing
Yeah.
off,
And as
which
much as
hurts too.
anybody wants out there rag on and shit on Jalen Chatfield, he is absolutely missed in this lineup. There's no doubt in my mind, and there's no doubt. Everybody was given crap earlier about, he's not a, top 4 defenseman. Dude, he's missed in this lineup. And I hate it for Scott Morrow because he's really been thrown to the wolves, quite honestly. But even, you look at Slavin. I mean, look at Burns. I mean, Slavin, he looks, I don't want to say this the wrong way. He looks normal he doesn't look exceptional against Florida. And we're just making slower plays. We're making slower decisions on plays than we should be. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
maybe
mean,
it's just the the angels that'd be talking, but it's just like we gotta figure out a way to not play so physical and play with our speed, because I think that's what's going to win us the next game is playing with our speed into our game, and not dictating our game to what they're going to present to us. We just have to don't worry about it.
yeah.
We have to
Well,
go for it and
the
just
problem,
take
yeah,
chances.
I noticed the problem too is when they are breaking the puck out of the zone, they have 4 guys on that one side of the ice where the
Hmm.
puck is, and they're low. Like they are really low. Like they got like let's say the puck's in the corner. They got the D man in the corner. The winger is probably below the hash marks. The
Hmm.
center is
Hmm.
swinging basically the bottom of the circle, and then that offside defenseman is basically at the hash marks in the middle of the ice, basically like just above the crease, if not a little bit pushed over. So
Yep,
they got 4 guys sitting there, and they have so much support. That's how
they
they're able to
do.
break the puck out.
They do. They they come up. They like I said, they come out of the zone. They come up the middle. They have different layers, different levels of where they can go to, and I think that's that's really the difference, because we haven't had a lot of offensive. Our forecheck has not been effective against that because they're quick. They're in, they're out.
I
Period.
know,
So our dump and chase doesn't work. So here's where a non-dump and chase approach may work,
because they're
maybe
cheating.
better.
I mean,
You know,
they have to be cheating to get that many guys down that low that
exactly.
quick.
They do.
So you have to try and play off the rush,
Exactly.
or you have to have coverage. So you have to have
Yep.
just one guy going on, not because I've noticed too, they'll do a 2-man forecheck on that 1D behind the net, but the problem is that one pass beats 2 guys.
Yep.
And that's what they've been doing the whole time. They've just been doing one pass and then it's a 2-on-1 somewhere else on the ice. And yeah, I mean, you send I mean, if they want to stick with the forecheck, I'm okay with it, but they stick one guy going after the puck. One guy's got to mirror the center. Basically,
Hmm.
just follow him.
Hmm.
Like, just look at him and just say what he's going to do, because he's the guy that's going to facilitate the middle lane drive. If you
Yep.
can interrupt him, and you have to create layers as well. Like, you literally have
Yep.
to. You have to, because
Yeah.
they bring 4 guys low, or you rush the puck in, but
Y-
even that's a little hard because they congest the neutral zone too. But
No, it is, but I think we have to play with speed, and we've not been playing with speed. I mean, we've been playing with anti-speed at this point.
yeah,
The way I look at it is we've been trying to counteract their physical opponent or component to their game, and it's just not working. It really is not working. And I really hope, like I said, I really hope for the Canes that they figure it out and they can get to that game early, because um, we need to get to Bob early. We need to we cannot go through 2 periods and have 7 shots on goal. That's just not you can't do it. It's just
yeah,
not going to
not against
work. It's
him.
not,
I mean, and it's okay if you have the shooters, like
yeah.
Toronto, like they're more than happy to be in a low shot total game as far as volume, because they have the guys that can put the puck in the net. You
Hmm.
know, I don't necessarily. I mean, the Canes kind of have had that with Svechnikov, but he didn't have a great game last night. So
Oh,
yeah, it's
I
tough. I
thought
mean,
he struggled. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously they need size, which is why it confuses me that Kotkaniemi came out of the lineup instead
Me
of.
too.
I think Roslovic needs to come out
I think it
for
should have been
Kotkaniemi.
Roslovic, not Kotkaniemi. Yeah,
Yeah, and I
as
also think Nikisha needs to play, man. Like I
I do
understand,
too.
like he doesn't speak English very well,
I don't
if at
I
all,
don't give a
but
shit. He's a big body. He bangs bodies. You know, I don't think Morrow played terrible, but we need another
he
option.
doesn't play. Yeah, like he doesn't. You don't need another. You don't need another offensive defenseman
Yeah,
playing in this
yeah,
series. You need a guy
yeah,
that's going to be an anchor,
yeah.
that's going to combat. Like Listerainen and Lundell and
Hmm.
Greer and like these guys. Like those
Yeah,
are the guys you need to worry about. Like the top end guys will get taken care of by. For some reason, they're playing Burns over 27 minutes a game, but that's
yeah. I don't
to
know.
be seen. Again, I think this is it's just kind of a team of misfits where it's
Yeah,
some guys want to do it one way and some guys are comfortable playing the other. And, two of our D men are under 6 foot and, one of our D men's over 6 foot,
yeah,
but plays really soft
yep.
in Morrow. So, and again, I think we talked about this too. I don't want to kill Morrow, obviously. Like
Yeah,
he's
it's not
getting
the
thrown into a
yeah, not
horrible
yet.
situation
So,
here. And
no.
I blame Rod more than I blame Scott for sure.
Yeah,
Like Rod needs to recognize that that's not what the series needs. I know Nikishin doesn't speak English, but I promise you this: 4 months from now, do you think he's really going to speak that much more English than he does right
no,
now? Like,
no.
dude, like, come on, man. Like, just play him. Like, I understand. Like, he
Yeah.
understands the game. He gets it.
I mean,
He knows what you're trying to do. He's
yeah,
not an idiot.
look at his conversation with him when he did his interview. It's like, you don't, you don't know English. Okay, no problem. But you know hockey, so he knows
Yeah.
how to play the game. I said that's the key. I mean, he's a big body. He's physical. He's offensive. He's good
Hell,
in
even put Stillman out there. Like,
yeah,
don't
yeah,
you can't put
yeah,
Morrow out there. That's the
yeah. No,
last person they need to
unfortunately,
put out there.
he needs to work his way into through a 82 game season. He
He
needs
needs
to
to play
figure
with
it out.
Slavin.
Yeah, yeah.
If
No,
you're gonna
agreed.
play him, you need to play him with
Yeah,
Slavin.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's just that's how it has
So,
to be.
anyways, so game three hits the uh, hits the airways tomorrow night. I think Saturday at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, all the games are at 8.
All the games are at 8 o'clock. So anyways, we'll see what the games do on Saturday night. But I think they it's really just you just got to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. And line changes and shifts and whatever it takes. It's got to be the approach at this point. So um I honestly don't think staying the course is the right approach.
I mean, it's not, but that's probably what they're gonna do, unfortunately.
I get
And I
it.
think that that's gonna get them swept again. So
Yeah,
I'm hoping that I'm wrong and Rod makes a lot of changes to the lineup. I'm hoping he really sees that, hey, if Chatfield can't go, Nikishin needs to play, but he won't do that. He'll play Morrow.
yeah. KK
If
needs to come back in
Which he
for
won't. He'll play
Roslovic.
Roslovic. But it's like,
So
you bang your head against the wall because you know exactly what's going to happen. I think Maurice knows that too.
yeah,
Maurice knows that Rod's not going to make that many changes. Like
yeah,
he's basically going to be like, you know, if the Canes get blown out, it's because they didn't follow the system.
yeah,
If they lose a close game, it's because the bounces didn't go our way tonight. If it's like,
yeah,
okay, there's always this excuse, and it's kind of driving me a little nuts at this point. Of it's like, hey man, maybe it's your system. I don't know. Maybe like I like the pressure,
yeah,
I do, but I also think that you need to allow the skill players and the speed players to be able to use that because
yeah,
you're basically just dumping the puck in, and if they know what you're going to do every time, they're going to cheat. They're going the
yeah,
D are going to cheat
yeah,
back,
yeah,
and that's why Hall's been so successful is because he doesn't dump it in every time.
yeah,
He kind of will, if he gets some speed, he will gather it and actually break into the zone. Like he
yeah,
won't, and Aho does it at times as well. But
yeah,
yeah, it's just, I mean, if they stay the course with the dump and chase and trying to press the demon. They're gonna get killed again.
No,
It's just
because
gonna get
Florida's
killed.
so good at recovering and D to D and they're up the ice quicker than anybody else I've ever seen. So they have to change something, but will they? To be determined. But at the same time, we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
Saturday, and we'll kind of go from there. But so any odd predictions for Saturday's game as far as lineup changes? I think KK is coming back in. Um,
I don't
I
think he
I would
is.
bring him back in.
I
I
would,
think
but I don't think
I
he's
think
going back
I
in.
think Roslovic or you know or a guy like Eric Robinson or somebody goes out of the lineup. I think guys like Stankoven. I mean, they should stay in the lineup. I mean, because I don't think that necessarily needs to change. But Nikisha definitely needs to be in. But again, it's you look at is Jarvis, is he going to be good to go? I mean, because he got hit hard,
Hmm.
and so did Walker. I mean, Walker got by I think AJ Greer, and then Mikola hit Jarvis. I mean,
Hmm.
they got rocked. I mean, so are they going to be good to go? So it's to be determined as to whether or not they'll be in the lineup or not. Um, but really they've been non-existent. Jarvis has sort of been, you know, not there. I mean,
Just
he's
it's
been there,
too.
but
They're.
he's
I mean, the other
but
guys
he's
on the
like
other end
everybody
are.
else, I guess.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
mean, everybody has been like that. They're just too big and too strong on the other side of the puck. So
yeah. So, anyways, so we'll see. But so you good? Yeah, we
yeah, no,
all right,
I don't
good
have.
deal.
I think we've beat this one to death.
I
Yeah,
think we
it's
have too. So
so.
as everybody that's stuck with us, Kyle's not here. Obviously, he's had some prior engagements that he has had to take care of. So Cam and I joined you today, but we'll see what happens Saturday night, game 3, 8 o'clock, puck drop, and we'll see what the Canes can do. But we're hopeful that we'll have a good outcome on Saturday, and then one game at a time, one shift at a time, we'll take this back into a series. So until then, for Cam myself, we'll bid you adieu, and we'll talk to you on maybe Sunday or Monday before game 4. Talk to you soon. Bye.